Welcome back to Threshold of Revelation. This is session 20, entitled Ikoenteth. Last session of the group was blown off course. Their small craft was taken a little bit far into the ocean, or the bay rather, than they were intending. During this storm caused kerfuffle, they started to see strange things under the water, specifically what looked to be like some sort of structure, man-made structure. So they swam down to it, explored it, found that it had a very strange gemstone embedded in a kind of effigy on the front door, or rather top door, of this ziggurat-like structure. And when they pulled that from it, the water parted and allowed for people to kind of walk around on the surface without there being water present. Water at the tops is where the boat currently remains. The rest of the party has swam down and has taken up onto the land, the water having been kind of parted and holding in its current position outside of the temple's surface. They opened the door, entered in, ingeniously entered the door, casting a cantrip, and then upon entering into the space, they have come into this room. A symbol on the ground seems to show a very old, archaic symbol in the center of the room that is kind of hard to make out, but appears to have some religious significance. If someone trained in religion wants to attempt to identify it, they may. Other than that, there are torches that are lit. They are not ever burning torches. They do seem to be exuding heat and fire, but they are well lit. And there is also two stairways that go down into darkness, and even those with dark vision cannot pierce the veil of darkness that appears to be present in these staircases.
Can I try the check with Jack of all trades?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm hoping that Rolling Rock will do it, though. Because I did poorly.
Okay. Well, if no one's terribly interested in the symbol, religion-wise, there are two.
Oh, I'm just not trained in religion.
It's a good cleric. There are two pathways that descend down.
Whoa. Urs is my religion, okay? Ain't no pantheon of gods. Mother Nature, y'all.
There's two staircases that head one to the left, one to the right. They descend down into darkness, and as I said, the darkness doesn't appear to be natural darkness. It appears to be some sort of immutable darkness.
Are we going left or right?
Left.
Left it is.
Okay. We have 2 votes for left. Is that okay with everybody? You can also split up if you want.
Does this yeah. Where we want to be?
Temptress.
So, dark vision doesn't work, but, if we have a torch, does that break the darkness, or is it,
No, complete shadow.
It's advanced darkness.
So that means that we just literally can't see a damn thing?
Yeah.
Should we tie a rope around ourselves so we don't get lost?
Well, the darkness could just be like a wall there, and then once you pass through it, it could be normal-ish.
But it could also not. I think the rope's actually a good idea.
Buddy system for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Mountain climber rope.
Okey-dokey.
I'm going to pull out rope and start panning it out.
Okay. Again, just tell me how you're living your life.
There
Free
you
and clear, man. Free and clear.
go. So we tie a rope onto everybody, I guess. Ezekiel will go down first if nobody has any objections.
Okay. And you're heading left, right?
Yeah, and left would be that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want a marching order, or are you good?
Ezekiel first is all I need.
Okay.
As you pierce the veil of darkness and kind of exit this kind of space, you realize that there's light just on the other side. But there's this feeling of centering when you're kind of putting your foot through the darkness for the first kind of like beat into it, as you're kind of stepping into the darkness, it's kind of like this strange, like almost as if you were being folded and pulled across two spaces. And when your face, your snout, your eyes, and everything kind of exit this next space, you very much feel like you're in the same structure, but not very close to where you were. And as you finally kind of breach the shadow, you realize that as you kind of turn and look back, the shadow isn't present on this side. It's just solid stone. A staircase that you descended down and exited out of is now just capped with a solid wall. And the rope seems to still run through it. If you kind of reach up and touch the wall behind you, it's a wall.
It's a wall. Okay.
So the rope wasn't cut.
It wasn't.
Okay.
So Ezekiel pull on the rope to try to get the others to walk through.
Yeah, for you, it doesn't pull. It's as if it was a part of the stone structure above you. But those that are following behind you with the lead and are kind of exiting out of it, the rope does seem to unwind out and spill forward, being forced from behind and out.
I'll follow.
Okay, so it would have been Ezekiel and then Uther, is that right?
Yep.
Second here. So the passageway you're entering into, it's pretty simple. A hall down. There are two pillars that you can see. The pillars in
It's a black
question.
square.
Okay, well you're not there yet. Just Ezekiel first.
Okay.
I'll get you dragged here in a second. But Ezekiel, you see that there are two pillars directly in front of you. The pillars appear to be made entirely out of crystal, and they have like etchings all throughout them that kind of give them like a very hard to see through transparency. But you can see that there's something inside of the crystal, a lot of something kind of inside of the crystal that appear to be, you're not for sure.
Okay. I'll step down to make room very cautiously.
Okay, who's after Uther?
I will. I like to be in the middle.
I would go after Rolling Rock, and maybe Silas can be behind me, get sandwiched by the big boys.
Well, first things first, Ezekiel will have to move. It's a kind of rest area.
Yeah. I'll scoot up this way.
Okay. And are you examining the pillars at all or no?
Yeah, I'll look at the pillars to see if maybe I can figure something out, hopefully.
Okay, so Nick's behind Rolling Rock.
Yep.
You step in. You very quickly realize that Uther and Ezekiel are tied together, as you said, and you are now trying to walk through a space where there's something in between you, so that actually bars you from walking the way you wanted to. There is a pillar in the way. If you'd like to force it, you can attempt to break the pillar, but you can also untie the rope, and that might be a problem.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to Uther and Ezekiel. You said you tied ropes to each other, right?
Yep, we're all
Yeah.
tied
Not
together.
tied. I'll just drop it.
Okay, that's fine. I was just saying the way you
And
described
that
it.
would be funny, but yeah. I was not willing to put it through my belt for stuff like that.
Oh!
I mean, I can pull the party. It's not an issue.
More than fair. And then Silas would have been the last one down.
We gotta have Bodhi.
Bodhi will come down.
Okay.
Because NPC.
Yeah. Let's make sure we're forgetting them.
Text that boy. But yeah, in this room, you would see that there is two points of wall that are slightly different color stone than the other portions of stone. It's mostly kind of this light gray-white stone, but these points that are different are here and here. And you would see that they have kind of more of a white colored stone, almost like a marble. And on the ground at the base of these points, you would see that there are scarrings, like kind of scratches in a circular pattern on the floor.
Can
And
we
then-
make anything out of those patterns?
Yeah, I'd like to use nature to try to figure that out. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I would like
Jeremy, can you go ahead and just tell them what's happening here? I think you already know, right? There's like circular scarring right at the door. It's as wide as the door is. Like,
It's just the edge of the door.
door
dragging
opening.
it's
across
like the
ground.
door spins. It oscillates around it. Yeah. Okay. No nature needed.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought it made perfect sense when I said it out loud, and sometimes I say things weird. It's fine. It's probably my fault. But yeah, there are also 4 pillars, all of them crystal, go from floor to ceiling. Ceiling's 10 feet in here. And then there are apparently 2 doors that appear to have some sort of mechanism where they spin on an axis.
I'm still looking at the pillars. Do they all look similar, or are they different? Different each of them.
Near identical. It looks like the insides of them, from what you can see, look like they're parts, shards, and pieces of bone. And you also see what looks like small little, like, dark colored pieces of materia, which you assume is like blood that's basically kind of had a long enough duration to kind of solidify.
And are these pillars like? Are they sharp on around, or are they like kind of smoothish?
They're kind of, they're not sharp, but they're not smooth either. They seem to have been kind of chiseled into like rounded edges and shape.
So they're not actually square. They're more like
Yeah, they're,
hexes are all like octagons. Like, how many edges do they have?
I would say that they're not a polygon of any kind of like that you can kind of factor. It just looks like they've been kind of cleft to the structure that they're in. It looks like they were shooting for square, but it didn't work.
Can they be like rotated in their setting, or are they stuck as they are?
Do you touch the pillar?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like they're pretty soundly in there. But you, as a stone person of kind of stone mentality, realize that this crystal is very brittle. If you were to try and do anything with it, it would probably shatter.
Bringing the roof down on us.
It doesn't look like they are structural.
They're not loading. It's ain't a load bearing crystal.
I had dreams.
I was thinking if they were sharp, maybe we like put some blood on them and something activates. We're in a temple. I mean, you never know.
Rolling Rock, would you know how pillars like this might be made? Is something poured into it? Like, looks like there's debris, like human, or some sort of organic matter in there.
It's a good question. Most like the crystals and like stuff I'd be aware of are kind of like formed like in the earth under pressure. It's not like they're you can't
Over a
really
long period of
melt them,
time, right?
like
Yeah.
melt them down and then add stuff and then build them back up. I don't think I'd be aware of anything like that.
As
At
a
least
stone,
not like
as a stone shaper, you would be aware that you can make gems through magic. Like, you can make crystals through magic. You can form crystals through magic. So it's not unlikely that.
so these probably aren't natural. They're magic.
Yeah,
magically
supernatural.
made.
Correct.
Yeah, so these aren't anything of like unnatural formation. These were made by someone, some arcanist.
Then the question is why?
And you said, can we see what's in them or no?
He had described a little bit of it.
Broken, shattered pieces of bone and what appears to be like materia that would be like kind of old, dried, like jerky of some sort of creature. Or
And
like
that's the same for all of them.
all of them have the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why when
I'll lightly tap on the third one that I'm next to.
What's your strength score?
It's really low.
Okay, then yeah, it just taps. It sounds like stone. There's no resonance. That's what you're
13.
going for. Yeah, there's no resonance. Is what if that's what you're going for.
It doesn't like immediately chip off in my hands or anything.
No. Unless you're trying to get it to. You said lightly. Were you trying to force a break?
Not yet.
Okay.
would you like me to try?
Does it appear that these are load bearing?
We already
No.
covered that they're not. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks.
And we confirm the door swings outwards, right?
The 2 doors swing 360 degrees. The presumption is you'll have to do at least 180 to be able to open the door. Or at least 90, rather. Sorry, to be able to go through the doors.
Where
Have you
was the
tried
door?
even just pushing on it?
You should see the markers on the ground.
There's
They're kind of
one
like these
here
little...
and one there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So do we want to go through doors first, or do we want to break possible magic containing pillars?
I mean, maybe we don't want to break stuff immediately.
Yeah, I'd say just try to like push the door open, even just see if it's
Which
locked.
door do you want me to
or-
try first?
How about the one you're standing in front of? I guess is fine.
All right, yeah, I'll try this one.
Okay. Hold on a second here. So when you push the door open, there's resistance. Takes a little bit of effort for you to push the door open, and you realize that what's happening here is the doors want to shut. So as you're kind of pushing against it, you were to back off and let it go, it would slam back closed. When you get through, you'll be able to have gotten through, but it will shut one way or the other in its rotation, and it will basically bar anyone from following you.
Do they spin on the axis when they snap shut, like
Yeah,
kind of
it's
spring loaded?
in the center. So it's whatever's in the center is actually the thing that's the mechanism that's stopping.
Is it
Will I
a
be able to
physical
try to hold
mechanism?
it open? Like if I put one hand on one side, one hand on the other?
So what we'll do is discuss that mechanically. So yes, you absolutely could attempt to hold the door open, but doing so is an action for the purposes of combat. So if you wish to have the door remain open, you can. Absolutely fine, but you will not be able to fight through the doorway. And you will effectively be blocking the doorway for line of sight purposes.
So you're saying we're in a fight?
I'm just saying, like, in the future, this is a mechanic throughout the entirety of this dungeon.
Okay.
Gotcha.
The doors are all the same.
Would
I
we
would,
be able to fit I'm sorry, a pitten or something into that area where it's
If you have Thieves' Tools trained, you can attempt to lock the doors in an open position, but I assure you the DC is very high.
okay? So that's separate than what I was asking, like some sort of something that would stop it from
I
opening and
understand
closing.
what you're saying, but you're trying to comprehend a mechanism that you don't. So you're trying to put a chisel thing into it. If you want to play that, you
No,
can.
I'm just looking at it to see would a chisel be something that might potentially stop it in place? No. Okay.
No, based on
That's it.
based on the weight that Ezekiel is having visited upon him, and the fact that there's no kind of like stone kind of place to wedge it, it'll just flare it out anyway.
You open the door 90 degrees,
Yeah,
it'll snap the opposite way. If you open it less than 90 and get through it, come back the other.
correct.
Okay. Oh,
And since
Ezekiel,
is being opened, I'm going to open it. On the opposite side, you see
Nice.
a couple of bones, and you do see a bed of spikes that appear to be attached to a large metal sheet that is set flush to the wall on the north side of this room.
doesn't look like a very
I
big
see you,
room.
Zach. Are you popping in video?
Yeah, sorry, I'm having some computer issues.
No worries. Let me know when you pop on.
About 10 seconds.
Okay, cool.
Did Ezekiel go in first and well, before he goes in, like, do you guys want me to hold the door open? Because it's a pretty heavy door. Some of us might not be able to walk through it.
No, you just have the resistance. I believe any of us could open it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
You just can't.
Gotcha. Okay,
keep
see,
it
I
open.
thought it meant like you had to have like a certain.
No, you were just
no.
fighting a
Gotcha.
small spring.
Gotcha. All right, I'll go on through then, since the rest of the party can't open it.
Second here. Chody go here.
I'm here.
Jeremy go here. There.
What's the ceiling height down here?
10 feet.
10 feet.
Okay, so just so you understand where we're at, Zach, real quick catch up. You went into that room with the two staircases down. There are these weird dark masses. You walked through the dark masses, tying each other to ropes. When you came through, behind you, the staircase leads to a ceiling instead of a dark mass now, so you're effectively barred into this space. And inside of this room, there are 4 pillars made out of crystal. They look like they have like cleft marks on them, like they've been kind of chiseled into the shape. And inside of the crystal, you can see bone shards and like materia that would be like fleshy material that's kind of had a long time to become carbon. And then there were 2 doors. The doors are set on a central axis, and they're stone, and they spin. And when they get to a certain degree, they'll snap back and close. They'll always seem to kind of reflexively kind of shut. And Ezekiel is currently standing in the doorway of one, looking inside of this chamber on the southern side. All right, so
He's holding the door.
yeah, as an action, so mechanically for combat purposes, because all the doors in this place are the same. If you are wanting the door to remain open to allow fire through, you can, but you have to use your action to hold the door open, and you're effectively blocking line of sight, so anything on the opposite side of the door will have cover.
And so there are bones, and is the bones that I see on the map here in front of the little spike trap.
Mm-hmm. You'd also see what looks like kind of a aged leather, kind of hanging on a couple of the spikes of this bed of
Probably
spikes.
some kind of skin, I would assume.
Very aged, yeah. It looks like it's probably been a while since someone's been down here.
And looking at the floor, does it look like that spike trap like shoots out any? Like, is there any marks that would show on the floor?
Not on the floor, but you'd also notice that it's high enough off the ground and low enough off of the ceiling that it probably wouldn't leave tracks.
Gotcha.
It's not high enough or low enough to warrant someone to get underneath it, but
Yeah,
absolutely
gotcha.
to allow
Or above
clearance. Or above it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
It's like
just enough to not hit the ground and scrape.
it's like it's about 8 foot, and it's about a foot below, foot above the ground, foot below the ceiling, foot above the ground.
I'm a
Gotcha.
pretty thin guy.
If you make a good deck saving throw, maybe we'll see. But anyway, if you
get
kind of
stuck behind it.
do one of these around the corner there, you can go ahead and like slide here. You'll see that there is a really cool looking ornate golden statue of a dragon seated on a like small little dais, right? And around the dais there are 3 items. If you'd like, go ahead and roll 3 D100s.
Magical.
Probably magical.
77, 8, and 72.
Cool.
Somebody get a bag of sand ready.
That's what,
Yeah,
I,
that's
was
what I was
thinking.
thinking exactly. Like that.
I love that we were all thinking that.
You said 77, 8, and
Only
72.
posted
72.
GIF in the Discord too. That's funny.
Okay, cool. 77. Chart. A pair of glasses that have eagle wings kind of on the sides. A pair of boots that look like they're very, very ornate, but also very dirty. And they have very kind of they're like Ugg boots. You know what I'm talking about? They got like the wintry kind of like fur
Boots with the
around.
fur.
Boots with the fur, right? And then the last item would be an apple bottom. Oh, sorry, no, I was joking. It's a looks like a short sword. Very ornate styling. It looks like it's a smirking ornamentation. It's got a jeweled hilt. Looks like it's probably some sort of fancy weapon. It's kind of rusty, but like it looks like it's really decent quality.
Can I like if I holler with the doorbell, like, can they hear me? I'll
Well,
be like,
the door's not shut. You just kind of like are leaning away from the door a bit.
Oh, okay,
Kind of
gotcha.
like-
Yeah.
You're still holding there. I only moved you because you're.
I have to see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
But
Yeah,
now you can see it all the time because explorer mode.
I'll let the party know that I found looks like some items and a gold dragon thing sitting in front of a presumable trap. If we take the gold dragon thing, is my guess.
A gold dragon, you assume, weighs probably a good 10 to 20 pounds. And it's either solid gold or like hollowed out. You're not sure. You can't tell.
Gotcha. Yeah,
If,
I will let them know that as well.
if it's solid, it's probably worth about 1,000 gold pieces worth of gold. If it's hollowed out, it's probably 250 to 300 just in the gold material itself.
Gotcha. So do you guys want me to try to get the items and hopefully not die to the trap, or?
Doesn't Bodhi have a magic hand?
Yeah, do we have a mage hand available to grab stuff?
I do. Do I have to see around the corner?
You'd have to see the item to be able to grab it.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I could. I do appreciate you guys having this kind of faith in me to not die.
Here, Ezekiel, hold the door open for you. You just step in, grab it, and go. What's the worst that can happen?
Is there anything in particular Ezekiel would recommend I grab first?
Anything that's not the dragon statue, I would grab those 3 items first, and then the statue. Assuming you can lift them with mage hand or magic.
What was
landing
the first one? I know it was
Uh,
something
glasses.
boots and
It was,
knife.
eagle
it was Eyes of the
feathers.
Eagle, yeah.
They are a pair of spectacles that have wings of an eagle on either side of the lenses. You don't know what they are.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
And there were boots, UGG type dirty boots, and
UGG-type
a
boots.
cool bejeweled short sword.
Changes them to glasses of flying.
Better still.
Glasses of eagle summoning.
Want to be
Can I
carried.
take a
I
peek
want to
around
be
the corner?
carried by the face.
I was gonna say it's gonna pull you by the face. Ah!
That's fine.
Okay.
Is it okay if I
Uh,
crawl above him and peek around the corner?
If you
mean-
just want to be ready to snatch me
Short
Yeah.
from
swords is
danger.
pretty cool.
You can crawl above them and peek around the corner. It's fine.
Oh, they're like right there.
Yeah.
Okay, no, if he stands over Ezekiel Square and puts his back to the wall where the spikes, are just out of brushing his shoulder region, he can use the mage hand to grab one and see what happens.
Sure.
All right, I do exactly that. I'll do the.
You need Ezekiel Square to do it.
That's fine. Everybody can kind of maneuver around. It's fine. And then you're casting Mage Hand and you're...
I'm peeking around the corner, casting mage hand, and let's grab the sword first. That seems the most valuable to me.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to pick up the swords without issue, or the sword without issue, and it starts to float towards you.
I'm gonna float it back around the corner and have mage hand drop it next to Uther.
Okay.
And we're bringing that hand right back around, and we'll get the glasses.
Okay. Glasses, you pick them up, no problem.
Same deal. Floating over to let's just say Rolling Rock, so everybody gets something. And hands going back for
Boots
the
first.
boots.
Question: are these lenses tinted, or are they like glasses?
Glasses.
Or are they sunglasses?
Glasses.
Oh,
You pick up the boots, and the boots fly over to you just fine.
Also on the ground between the two of them. They looked a little dirty, so I didn't want.
Ezekiel's
to
in there
assume.
too. You're standing on him.
Yeah, that dragon looks a little heavy for mage hand.
It is a little bit heavy for Mage
Everything
Hand.
else, I think I could get away with.
Yep.
I don't think you should I think you should leave that alone.
Looking at the dragon, it's not any kind of symbology I'd recognize. It's just something cool looking.
The dragon it happens to be a type of is a red dragon, but it's made completely out of gold. But there are certain kind of biological features that dragons have that kind of distinguish them from one another. This one appears to be a sculpture of a red dragon, but made entirely out of gold.
Do me a favor, Zach.
Here we go.
Try to lift it with mage hand, because that's going
Don't
to tell
do
you
it.
if it's hollow or not.
Oh, don't do it.
If you set off the spike trap, you crush your mage hand and the gold statue, and we don't care.
I mean, it seems like it's the dragon protecting its horde.
What if it's a figurine of Wonder?
So
That's a
gonna be a
dragon.
thing.
Do you attempt to try and move the statue?
Yeah, I'll gingerly push it, see how.
So it definitely weighs more
sort
than
of like
the 10...
get around it and kind of nudge it a little bit.
It weighs more than the 10 pounds the mage hand can move.
oh man, that could be like 1,000 gold just sitting there.
So looking at it as you kind of focus on it, you would notice that it's gold, probably about a foot tall.
It's a little bigger than I thought.
It's about like it's like a foot tall, maybe about 8 inches wide, and it's kind of got its wings coiled around itself. But as you're kind of examining it, you would notice that the eyes appear to be rubies set inside of the face of the dragon, and there appears to be what looks like a strange slit or like opening kind of door on its chest, like a tiny little like just door. You could open
Sounding
on the
awfully
chest.
valuable.
Mage hand the rope over there.
It looks like it's very fine, this mechanism to open, you're not sure that Mage Hand has the dexterity to be able
No, Mage
to.
Hand the rope over there and wrap it around the neck and see if we can snatch it around the corner before the trap grabs it.
Well, maybe we don't have to move the dragon. Maybe we just have to open that little hatch on it.
He just said he's pretty sure you wouldn't be able to open the hatch with Mage Hand, which means somebody would have to
I'm
go in.
aware. I'm aware.
Try to block the trap for you. I'm not going to promise it'll work.
So they
But
got an immovable rod.
If I were to approach, do I still have line of sight out of the hallway, or is he blocking full line of sight for Ezekiel?
So if Ezekiel is okay, let me make sure you folks understand what's actually happening.
Ezekiel would have to hold the door open for you.
Ezekiel's actually.
No, I'm aware. I'm aware he's holding the door. Is he fully occupying the door space?
There is
Or
no.
I can't see past him.
There is no technical door space. He is blocking
Ezekiel
someone.
he wants the door open. Ezekiel, move one to the left and use your action to maintain the door in the open position.
Right. And so you'll be able to see, if you're shooting a range attack, you'll have cover issues, but you'll be able to see outside the door.
Got it. I'm going to very gingerly.
You can try to teleport out.
Open the hatch on the dragon's statue's chest.
Stepping close to it then. Cool. And as you kind of move over to the statue and start kind of finagling with the little lock mechanism, the second it kind of pops, you can hear a... What would you like to do?
You made a
Didn't get
noise in
that.
it. Didn't
Sorry.
You didn't.
Like a knock, like a... Pop. It doesn't sound like a... So in response to that, you can attempt to do something in response. We're playing the click rules. So if you want to try something, you can certainly do so. Do you want to step back, throw a spell, do something, whatever?
Whimper.
I'm gonna try to just grab the whole thing and misty step past the doorway.
You grab the whole thing, and this kind of limits you for just a second because you realize that it's not free floating on the table. As
That
you
makes
kind of
sense.
grab a hold of it and look down, you notice it's seated inside of like a turn mechanism that needs to be spun once and pulled up to unlock it. And as you kind of fuck it and look to the side, you realize your folly. The spike trap wasn't for slamming into you from behind. It's slamming closed and killing everybody on the other side. You are now locked inside of this space. As the door shuts like so.
Very, very good. This is exactly as I planned. Now,
On the
I'm
opposite
going to take more time to take a look inside that door.
So the spikes
Absolutely
are
right.
facing us now.
Yeah, absolutely fine. So what you see is that behind the spike bed, there is a face. A draconic-looking face, its mouth completely wide open, with a solid sheet of blackness inside, similar to the shadow up above. As you kind of look at that strangely and then focus on the interior, inside of the chest cavity is a black stone, which seems to catch... Well, do you have any light? Oh, there's light in here. It's not dark.
I typically carry that.
It's
I have a
it's well it's
burning
well
torch if you want me to have it.
it's well lit throughout this space. Is the
Neat.
DM or the dungeon rules I put in place, so we're sticking to it. But
It's a nice place.
you see that the light kind of shimmers off of the stone, kind of reflectively, like obsidian or onyx. And as do you reach in and grab the stone?
I don't recognize the material.
It's some sort of like mineral for sure. It's either obsidian, ebony, or like an onyx kind of stone.
Yeah, hell with it.
Maybe-
I'm already
maybe
trapped
even-
in a little.
Maybe even jet. You pull it out, you have it in your hand, and then you hear kind of a sound as you turn and look back at the face, and you can see ocean water falling out of the mouth into this space.
Okay.
It fills relatively quickly, already at about a foot by the time you kind of got the thing in your hand.
Good answer. Good answer. Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna put the stone back.
It still continues to come out. The
Got
water.
it. Keeping the stone.
Boy,
It's
that's too
mine.
bad.
I've paid for it. It's
By
fine.
the time we're kind of at this point, it's probably about 2 foot high. And meanwhile, outside, the sound of splashing water can be heard through the metal. In fact, it's amplified by the metal sound. You can actually hear the water kind of hitting against the side of the metal. This door is completely kind of barring you, and it doesn't seem that the water is coming through, and as you're looking at it, you realize that it seems to have dropped once it came out to settle on the floor, and some sort of mechanism above it is now pushed down, kind of holding it flush with the stone.
Got it. So it looks like it'd be pretty hard for me to push it back open.
Yeah, it looks like there's weight being settled on top of it now. And also
Got it.
spikes would make it hard for you to kind of get in there and get
If I could put my shield against it and try to push like that.
You could
That's
try
my
that,
thought
yeah.
process.
He only needs a crack to see through to be able to teleport out of there. So
Yeah, that's what I'll do my best. I'm
Somebody
gonna try
bless
to
him.
put my shield up against the spikes and try to push as
I
hard
can
as
give
I can
him
to
bardic
get it to lift up.
inspiration.
Okay.
Would that work?
So I'm going to go ahead
Have
and
some
let
guidance. Good luck.
I'm going to go ahead and let you know I have set a DC for this. You can attempt to try it. Go ahead and make an athletics roll.
I have a staff. Can I stand behind him and try to aid?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm going to let you know that the DC is 30. So feel free to try and push the door open.
I got a 20 because I
20
have
to hit.
advantage.
So you have a D8 from Bardic Inspiration or D6? D6 from Bardic Inspiration.
No, it's a D8.
D8
at 5th level.
Yep. Okay.
Come on, baby.
There's 4.
Okay, that's not enough then. Not enough.
No, what's guidance? Is like a
It's
four.
only a 4 at the
It's
most.
only a 4. It's impossible.
So you can hear some struggling on the opposite side, Bodhi. You have the stone in your hand. If you want to do anything, it's up to you.
I could chug a potion
Okay.
as a bonus action.
Is it a potion of water breathing?
You wish.
What is the potion?
It is ogre strength.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give it hell from this side. If I don't see any kind of mechanism on the side of the door, I'm
So let me explain.
trying to force it back against the way it came.
Let me explain the mechanism as you would see it on your side. Stone face, etc. Small little kind of alcove where it kind of sat against, and on the far left side of it, looking kind of at it, is the mechanism kind of settled inside of the wall. It's like a very powered spring hinge on your side, and the complete backside of this is flush. So there's nothing to grab a hold of to pull it. You're trying to get it to come back towards you. They're trying to get it to come towards you on the other side. You have nothing to grab a hold of on your end to kind of help force it.
Okay.
The mechanism is present there. You are kind of able to see it, but it looks very sturdy and it looks very kind of foundational, if you get my meaning. Looks like it's done its job. What happens next with it is who knows. But you can definitely try stuff there. Thieves' Tools will be the check you'd need to make. Intelligence Thieves' Tools. If you're making it untrained, you can try, but the DC is a lot higher.
I'm very stupid.
That's true too. Yeah, you might also just not be able to do it.
Am I able to do message and talk to him?
Actually, if you don't have Thieves' Tools trained, don't even try. And message requires you to...
It looks like it can go through 1 foot of stone. Oh,
Yeah.
Inch of common metal.
Yeah, you can't do it here. It's thicker than an inch.
Okay.
And the stone around it is thicker than a foot.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
We're illiterate. But yeah, on your end, Bodhi, if your intelligence is a penalty, is it not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can't make the DC.
Yeah, it's letting everyone down.
You can't make the DC untrained to be able to force or figure out the mechanism. And by this point, you kind of hear the shoving, and you kind of realize you're in a bad place.
I'm in a pickle.
The water's about 3 feet at this point. So back outside. It's only been a couple of seconds. You can certainly try again. I will let you know that each consecutive attempt will be harder due to the way the mechanism works.
Brent, I have unfailing inspiration, which means that you don't lose it if you fail, so you could just try again and you still get the D8.
Absolutely fine.
Where was the mouth
Then
that
I'd
the
have to get a
water's coming
32.
from?
Behind the
Yeah.
spikes.
It's literally behind the spikes, yeah.
So basically, you'd have to get a crit, and then a crit on the inspiration die and a crit on the guidance, right? To make it? Okay.
No, he got a 12 on the die last time.
Oh, he got a
So
12
so the
on die.
water is coming out of the door?
No, it's coming out from behind the door.
There's
So
a dragon face behind the door with its mouth open, with
Ima-
another blackness portal to somewhere. The ocean's now pouring in behind you.
imagine my hand is the spike wall, right? It did this.
Okay.
The spikes are facing that way. Now this was where the wall was on that face where where
Got
it
it.
started. This
The
is where
door
the face
was
is.
covering the mouth, and
Yep.
now the mouth is
It
full.
opened.
Got
There
it.
was kind of like a second, and then you kind of grabbed the stone, and then it sort of.
So the wall is metal.
Mhm.
Is
Go ahead, Jody. Sorry. Think your thought,
He,
Steve.
he can go ahead. He can
Okay,
go ahead. and
Steve,
do
go ahead, sorry.
no, he probably has a better idea. Go ahead.
There's no wrong
The
answers.
rooms were very small, correct?
They're tiny, yeah.
Can I go back and just do a quick glance at the other way, the right direction?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I thought that was blocked by stone.
No, there's the other
You go
stone,
up the stairs.
the north side. No, you can't go back up.
The entrance.
I
entrance is
I
blocked
want to
off.
see if it comes back to the other way. If it
Sorry.
No. I would stop you if that was your idea. Because if you go through the darkness and go past, oh yeah, this is the stone wall. You can't get out.
No,
This is one way.
I misunderstood you, Jody. I thought you were talking about the door on the north side of this room. When you came down the stairs.
No, that's what I wanted to. I mean, I'm wanting to check for other doors.
No,
that's what my goal is.
Fair.
Other ways to go.
Let me explain. There's one other way besides the one that they're in. It's to the north. The way that you came down, when you went through the shadow and finally deposited on the bottom of the steps, the shadow you walked through is solid stone. You can't go back up. So,
Okay,
yeah.
the other door I would like to look at to see if moving it might access this other door.
North side. And you slide it
Nothing
open.
happens with the other door.
Nothing happens with the other door. You would see that there is another door on the north side and another door on the right side of this hall across from a torch and a sconce.
I would let the door close just to see.
That's fine. We're going to leave it
Okay,
open,
that's where I'll
but
stop. Yeah, okay.
we know it's shut.
Rolling Rock, you have shaped stone, right?
Yeah, so we might be going on the same wavelength because so the wall is metal, right?
The door is metal. The wall is stone.
Because what I'm
So
thinking
if
is,
he targets the stone at the edge of the spikes where we are now, he could put a little hole in it that Bodhi could see through. We would just then have to beat the water through the temple.
Exactly. I was trying to make like a thing like that the wall he could come like almost underneath, like almost like a toilet drain thing.
Oh, you could do it at the top because he can teleport out any size hole.
Yeah, just essentially just making a 5-foot gap because that's as much as mold earth lets me do.
The smaller you make it, the less water we have to fight.
Go ahead and click mold earth.
I think you went shape stone, not mold earth.
Yeah, so mold earth is only going to target dirt or stone that you can see that is already kind of loose. It's not something that is going to actually shift like compact stone. Loose earth is a specific target. You target an area of loose stone.
Oh, I see.
Back on my side, I'm gonna fiddle around with this dragon mouth. Is it like graded? Can I reach inside the mouth?
It's more or less just kind of sketched into the wall. If you put your hand in it, it's kind of the water's forcing your hand out, but you can kind of like get it in there. It's just more water.
How wide is it?
8 inches oval, like 8-inch tall, 6 inches wide.
I'm not getting in there.
Yeah, and you can't see because of the shadow.
Right.
The spike portion is flush against our wall, right? It's not enough to seal it.
So it is. It's sealed around the edges. So
Perfect.
like when
I'm gonna jam my bedroll inside the mouth. Try to buy some time.
Well, real quick, when it came in, Jeremy, just to answer your question, the edges of it actually kind of hit against the stone frame. So it's like maybe an inch out on either side, you would guess. And then the top and bottom, as I mentioned, was 8 feet high. The second it hit those points, a weight dropped and slammed it into the stone, kind of in a small little groove that wasn't seen. And then that's kind of got it sealed completely. Make sense?
All right, with me buff picking, I guess the only thing I could do is try to open the store again. 25.
Okay, so we're shoving again. You still have the inspiration, and then I'm assuming the guidance. So 25,
That's 29.
29,
Yep.
and the guidance.
That's 20 or 31.
32.
32.
32. Sorry.
Bodhi, as you're kind of messing around, you actually hear a.
I'm soaking wet. I'm like elbow deep in this dragon.
We're probably close to
You're
4
neck deep, bro.
5 feet, yeah, at this point. So you
No,
actually
no,
hear.
I'm trying to jam something in the mouth to try to plug it.
If not treading water.
Oh, that's actually a really interesting point. You're behind the door. You can't actually see around the door
Yeah, but I can hear the door open.
I know.
Once he
I
hears
know.
it open, he can swim around it because we're not getting it
I
very
can
far.
I can still move.
Yeah,
I just need to
it's-
oh
it's a-
shit.
Water's going
it's
to
a time-
push him out of it. He's
it's
not
a-
going to have to swim.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Like, the water's going to start flowing out. It's not going to shoot out quickly, because if it were shooting out quickly, it'd be shutting that door, because it'd be forcing you away from it. You're holding against it, so it's just trickling out, right?
I'm not holding against the door. I'm behind the door trying to plug the
No,
mouth.
I get you. You're behind the door. You need to get around the door so you can teleport out it, is what I'm saying. Timing is an issue here. So what I'm going to have you do, simply, is make an athletics check to kind of move or wade through the water to get there quickly as you see the store start to move. DC's easy.
I'm
gonna give him my inspiration.
Satisfactory. You're able to kind of just paddle and kind of and get your eye around it and start whispering the incantation to cast the spell Misty Step. You flare in kind of a pulse of Satyr magic and appear on the opposite side as the door is forced back shut as the water fills to a point where it's pushing him back closed. Yeah,
I just know you smell awful at this point, all that wet fur.
I was going to say, with a 32, he wasn't keeping that door open, and the door wasn't blasting open like I think Shodi was imagining.
No,
because you're pushing against the water. The water is pushing this way, and it would basically be coming around the door to kind of come out and hit Ezekiel. So Ezekiel he's got the door open. Water's jetting in the side of his face. He's keeping that door open for a second, maybe.
both of our animals are wet.
2 wet animals.
Temple stinks.
The lizard folk could actually have survived in there and just been like, I'll be here for an hour. Totally not.
Or swam through the dragon's mouth and been in the ocean.
If he could have.
I was hoping to do that. It was 8 inches though.
It was only tiny.
Oh, I thought it was larger.
No.
That was the initial plan. I was like, if I don't find a way to open this, I'm swimming back up to the ocean.
I'm going up.
Hoping I'm found.
Emergency exit. I wonder how deep I am.
Pretty deep.
So the door shuts immediately after. There's a bit of water on the ground, but you can still hear the sound. If that came through, I hope that came through. Blah, 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 blah sound on the opposite side as the thing begins to fill or continues to fill. You hold in your hand the stone, and you also have all 3 of the items: boots with the fur, sword, and
6
Glasses with eagle.
Glasses.
Eagle wings. I can't speak.
cool goggles.
And that's how it's done. Good job, Ezekiel. I owe you one.
It's out.
I'm sure everyone was involved in saving my life, and I thank each and everyone.
Hey, Bodhi.
Hey, Nix, what's up?
What do you call a typo on a headstone?
I don't know what a typo is. What do you call a
Grave
typo?
mistake.
A grave mistake.
Oh,
You push the
take
door
this show on
open.
the road.
You throw the dromite in. You let it
I
shut.
was waiting until you came back before I used it.
Thanks.
Now we just put them in neck deep, then let the door snap shut.
Yeah.
Water powered guillotine.
It would have been too soon.
Water Park Guillotine. That's a great name for a band.
Nix takes a few minutes to identify the short sword.
Okay. The short sword in question is a +1 short sword.
Oh,
That ain't bad.
I could use that
Pretty good.
sword.
Do you want to take another 10 minutes to identify the other items?
Do we want
Look
to
at this
do
rock for me.
Sure, let's do it.
Just for clarity, +1s do not require attunement, right? They just
They don't.
are.
No. Yeah, they just
Typically,
are.
correct.
It's once you add a trait, they
Some traits don't require it. Some do. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah, I don't think Maleficer needs a tune mix another tune to.
So, are you going to do another one?
Yeah, let's do the boots.
Boots of the Winterlands?
Boots of
The
the
what?
Winterlands.
Winterlands. Yep.
Mhm.
And
The
Should we be
goggles.
looking these up? I've never heard of this one.
so that's 30 minutes.
Yep.
Boots of the Winterlands are resistance to cold, ignore difficult terrain by ice and snow, and you can tolerate temperatures -50 degrees or less.
Dang.
If you wear heavy clothes, it's -100 degrees.
Wow.
Could use those during that storm.
I mean, or more, negative.
Or you had
10,
to
-20.
carry Nix.
My brain.
That would make like Uther indestructible in the snow.
Eyes of the
No,
eagle.
it's the same thing I already have for being mountain born.
They're eyes of the eagle. You pieces of shit.
Sorry.
I thought they're going to be the stupid owl glasses again. Guide of the night. That's the one.
The lenses.
I could use those.
The lenses in question are crystal, not too dissimilar from the crystal that makes up these pillars. You have advantage on wisdom's perception checks that rely on sight while you're wearing them. In conditions of clear visibility, you can make out details of even extremely distant creatures and objects, even if they're as small as 2 feet across.
You three are usually our eyes.
Am I?
I don't
We're
know.
scouting ahead on the ceiling.
You're a range guy.
That's fair. I'll have to probably move some stuff around.
They do require attunement for the eyes and the boots.
Yeah. These are way cooler than goggles on night, by the way. Looks like I have a Batman mask.
Well, they don't look
Yeah,
exactly
I just
like
found
that.
the picture.
They're a little bit more.
No,
They're much,
they look like
they're
this.
much lamer than the ones in the picture.
Fine, they look exactly like the ones in the picture.
Don't be fooled.
If that'll get you to wear them.
So I have no idea what this rock is that almost drowned me.
You can identify it. It'll be another 10 minutes.
I got time.
Or
I'm
you can
assuming
detect
the-
magic to see if
I'm
it's
assuming.
Not
what
like
was
a
her
boat's
name?
waiting for us or nothing.
Rebecca. What was her name?
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
It appears to be a stone of good luck upon identifying it.
You sure?
Those are pretty good.
It's not the worst thing.
Didn't seem all that lucky.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was. We got you out of there.
On
As
through
I live
the
and breathe.
next door. Do we want to go right or straight when we go through this next door?
The stone will also require attunement.
I wouldn't mind having the sword if you don't mind.
So you've spent about 40 minutes or so in this space.
Yeah, take the sword. Okay.
Would you prefer a sword or a dagger, Andy?
Would you rather have the sword if you're going to be more? I mean, I'm trying to be as little frontline as possible. So if you think you could put it to better use, that's fine. I have a rapier
Yeah,
and
I'm
a dagger.
50-50. I have a +1 armor piercing dagger if you'd want to swap for that.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
You'd still have a +1 weapon, but
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
use the sword more than the dagger.
Yeah, then why don't you take it?
The armor piercer says it's +1 versus everybody, but it's +3 if you're attacking armored targets.
Great. Sure.
When we go through this next door,
I'll
we go
put
on
a
straight or
group
right?
this way and open the door. Again.
You open it. Now, as discussed, you're able to get through, and if people are following behind you, they certainly can.
Oops.
I'll move through.
Okay. There's the door to the north. There's the door to the east. It's like right there across from the fire. And
Right where I'm at.
yeah,
I'll come with.
something you're able to notice a bit more in this room than you were in the last room because of its narrow kind of scope is that the torches smell really sweet. Smells like it almost smells like someone's frying up bologna. Like it just smells really kind of just meaty sweet.
That's pretty good. It's a good place.
Can I touch the torch?
We just live here now.
It's on fire.
Well, I know. Can I grab the bottom of it that is not on fire?
Yeah, sure. And it looks like it's the wood of the torch is kind of impaled inside of the sconce. Looks like whoever like set it in the sconce kind of screwed it in the wood and kind of locked it in place.
Okay, I guess what I'm pushing here is the chef in me is going, and how do you get that sweet smell to the wood to where maybe cook with it? So I'm trying to identify the wood and what.
Absolutely.
It is. My guy is getting sidetracked. Is what it is.
Make a cook's utensils intelligence check.
So just intelligence.
So no, you have cook's utensils as a tools in the bottom. When you click that, it's going to query which ability score you use. Intelligence, the one you want. Yeah. So you would understand with a 17 that it's probably not the wood. It's probably whatever's being used to keep the fire going, like some sort of lard or substance that's being kind of put into the torch head that's kind of fueling the fire. So whatever it is, it's It's probably a meaty substance. Porcine or other.
I would open the door that I'm by.
Okay. Upon opening this door here, you will see that this space ahead has another torch. Looks like there's a crack in the ground, but on closer inspection, you actually see that running through the crack from north to south on both kind of these cracks that you're looking at. You can see what looks like a long route. It goes
And
up.
these doors are still the ones that if we don't hold, they
All the
shut.
doors, yeah, all the doors in the space are going to be the same. Yep. And
I'm
so,
gonna give it to someone else to hold it open.
or just go in and close behind you. It's fine.
Either one.
Not so bad.
Okay. Stop. You hear a click the second you stop there. You need to tell me what your response to the click is.
To jump backwards and dive down.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
One.
The mass of metal comes flaring at you in the corner of your eye. You turn to focus on it and you see another deathbed of spikes coming straight towards you. You turn, not quickly enough. It smashes into your rump and your tail, and as you're kind of trying to jump out, it kind of clamps you against the stone, but you're able to kind of pull yourself through in a bloody mess. You take 32 points of piercing damage, and piercing and bludgeoning damage. If you're resistant to either, you'll take half, but if not, then you're just...
I am not raging, so nope.
Yep. It slams through you. You hear it mash against the stone wall behind you, and it kind of slides back into position. It's very quick. It's literally like that across the hall.
So it came from the south down here.
Correct.
I would point it out to the group.
I'm assuming Ezekiel's opening the door as he watches you kind of...
Yeah. You okay, buddy?
getting up off the ground. Tail,
Nothing happened.
tail all mangled.
Nothing at all.
It'll grow back.
Walk it off, walk it off.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Chody's a genius.
Gain inspiration, but for the current period, you are tailless. I do love that. I'm gonna, because you rolled a 1, I'm gonna say it took your tail clean off.
Fuck up his balance too. Give him disadvantage on shit.
Inspiration?
He just falls over at random.
No, he just loses his swim
Ch-
speed.
Chody's passing out inspiration because he's got him on deck. Who
Yeah,
wants it?
I got him. Who wants?
I have it too.
Brent just spent his on me, so give it to him.
I'll give it back to Brent. There you go.
Thank you.
Took his tail
Seems right.
off. That's so fucking cool. Because he's a
Leave the
lizard.
tail just hanging on the thing. It's like, no!
I would say that it'd probably take about a day for it to kind of regrow. If you take a short...
That's
bad.
super
That's
fast
fast
and
as
fair.
hell.
well,
That's super
That is
bad.
generous, and
No.
we'll take it.
I don't know.
We'll take it.
Taking it. Like, it's not...
Also, hey, meat.
Yeah, you could probably eat your own tail, I guess. But you would note that the
That'd be evil. It's a resilient creature.
mechanism was
Ethically
not
sourced.
ethically sourced sentient creatures. Silence is standby. But you would note that you have no idea why it happened. You did not see a mechanism or hear exactly where the click came from. You just heard a click and then a loud kind of just smashing sound as your body was kind of mangled by it.
Okay, so it definitely, I'm guessing at least floor pressure plate somewhere.
Potentially.
Can I poke around on the floor with my sword to see if I can get it to go off again?
You start kind of touching at the floor and it doesn't seem like there's really anything going on there.
Are the spikes still up and active? Like, did it?
It
the
basically...
trap
Like it
reset?
reset.
The spike went straight down the hall and came right back. It was like literally this fast. It was very quick. And I rolled
All right,
insanely low on damage.
And they came from the south. You rolled low. Okay.
I'm gonna try to like jump over that square and sprint over to here.
Okay. So, that being the case, you've got your goal, you've got your plan, you're doing it. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, because you are going to need to avoid. it's going to be a timing thing, not so much a just jumping hard strength
Okay,
mode.
so now do I have advantage on it because of my danger sense? Since
Yeah,
I
you are
exercised,
aware
I
of it
know it's
now.
coming.
That's correct. Yeah.
20.
Hey,
So you kind of step and kind of start moving. You hear the click, and your foot doesn't even like just stay on the ground for more than like a beat, and you're just flaring forward as you're kind of just jumping. You actually watch from behind as the spikes fly through the air, and if you had a tail, it would have taken it. But we've already played that game, so you just narrowly evade it, and you're on the opposite side.
I see the tail going out and coming back. As if my old tail. It's like
The
no.
tail's still on the wall.
the tail,
Yeah, it's
the
still
tail's
on.
just gone.
It's like whoosh.
The tail's all trapped in the
What's
gears.
So I didn't step in that same square, but it still went off, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so any of these squares.
And he is cold-blooded.
You
so
actually
it's
would know
not
because you were
temperature.
paying attention for it. It wasn't a pressure plate.
Oh. Okay. I would yell back and let the group know what happened.
Now, Ezekiel, I assume, would be the only one that has mentioned that he walked through. So, yeah, you're kind of watching that happen. So,
Alright, I'm going to take a pause from the Chody show and let the guys catch up.
no. We'd love to hear it. Pause. Speaking of pause, Ezekiel.
I'm not very dexterous myself.
You just saw it.
Oh,
You just saw it
Right.
happen.
Did he point out the?
pause.
Yeah, we get PAWS.
Anyway, sorry. Whatever.
There's a spot on the floor that triggers the trap.
There's not a spot on the floor. That
I
triggers
would
the
tell
trap.
them no, I didn't. It wasn't a pressure plate. It was something
He
else.
just knows he walks past a certain point and it comes out of the south wall.
Mhm.
Yes.
Slams into the
Yeah.
north wall. Yeah.
Ezekiel's going to throw. Is there any like decent sized rocks around here?
You can pick up
No.
whatever you want and chuck it. It's fine. Yeah, there you can find. I mean, there's those.
There's a good sized brick right there at your feet.
Yeah, you
Five
toss it
hours.
onto there. Plunk,
I
plunk,
try to like
plunk,
toss
plunk.
it in a general way to see if it's like motion sense or something.
That's not it.
Try the torches since they have a meat. They're using something with meat to them. Maybe it's something with the meat that pulls it off or something. Or that's it.
Torches don't move
I'll back to them.
unless you take the time to unscrew them and remove them. But
Oh, sorry.
yeah, looking at it, it's going to be an effort.
So do we just want to all take a chance and try to not die when we make it through there?
Oh,
Not really.
that will kill me.
That will kill me.
Yeah, he said that was low damage, so I'm pretty sure
I
that'll
could
kill
have
most of it.
drowned dead, Ezekiel.
So he heard an audible click when he stepped on the floor, though.
Yeah, if the fighter and the barbarian kind of like look at it and kind of pay attention to it, and you got hit by it, so you kind of have a vibe of like how damaging it can be. It hits with like the strength of 8 great axes. If that gives you a measure of the damage.
Oh, that would kill me.
Oh, D12s. I think that's like 8 D12s or so.
32
Yeah.
is a relatively low roll.
And they're sure that the floor is not the trigger.
Correct.
You gonna try to spider climb around it?
I mean, I got Dex. I can probably make it.
Giving it a go.
I'm thinking.
So if you're gonna do that, can you carry a rope with you across? Maybe you could pull
The rope's
rope.
probably not going to make it.
It would get sheared on the corners if the spikes are the same width as the hallway.
So,
But if he doesn't trigger the spikes though.
due to the nature of you have to look at it, the situation is you want to look at it, engage it, causing a problem that we would have to discuss. No one knows the exact dimensions of the thing. Literally, the flashes that you've seen of it have been like pretty quick and holy shit.
Can Ezekiel see it from where he's standing?
No.
And sticking your head out would likely get it cut off.
You want to try?
I'm asking Ezekiel if he wants to.
You know what? Get inspiration for that.
Somebody,
you've got a
somebody
tail
can have
too.
it. I've already got one. Somebody have
I'll
it.
take it.
Yours.
Shit.
Ezekiel, you got a tail.
Yeah, but mine don't grow back.
I mean, technically,
How do you know? How do you know?
The bunch tails
Have
like
you ever lost it before?
nervously curls over. No, no.
Yeah, It is down between his legs.
It technically does grow back. We just have to get rid of the rest of you first.
Just take the whole thing to the chest, and we'll get you that tail back. Oh, speaking of which, 2 notes I wanted to make sure were clear. Rolling Rock, the lodestar ping. There is a well in here somewhere. The other thing you would note is you had the greenstone on you, and as you're kind of looking at the lodestar to confirm that, you would notice that the greenstone is gone.
Oh.
When it disappeared, you're not sure.
What is it?
Oh, the one that unlocked the door up top.
The keystone, yeah.
Shit. That means that there's probably just ocean up there now.
So
Yeah, fuck it. I'm going for it. I'm going ceiling.
Okay.
what was around this corner that we were interested in? Was it like the meat? We're following the smell of meat?
The torch
No.
smells like it might have some kind of
All
pork
these torches?
fat or something.
Use their deck save.
And they're all pretty secure to the wall. It would take time
25.
to take them off.
You climb across the ceiling, and as you get out past the breachway, click, and it comes flying towards you. You would notice that it appears to be tracked on the ceiling as you're moving across it, but this is the only piece of information you're able to get because you're literally just dragging yourself as quick as you can and like coming into the space.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
took like a sprinter stance across the ceiling.
yeah. You're just kind of like on the other side, just like cradling against the ceiling, like laying in the
You
fetal
just bear
position
crawled.
on the ceiling. You're just like, oh god.
You're like the ring girl, but upside down.
Ezekiel, since you're now standing at it and are kind of expecting it to happen as Yusha flew over top of you and there's nobody in the way, you would actually see that there's a singular thing, like a metal kind of rod, that is pushing it out that way and then kind of dragging it back. Like some force is kind of like throwing it forward and then dragging it back.
I use like the reflection from a blade and look around the corner.
Okay. You kind of pull the blade out and look out, and you would see that you can see the spike bed, floor to ceiling.
I have one question.
And and it's identical to the spike bed. Like it's a metal plate with a bunch of spikes on it. Go ahead, Brent.
I was just gonna ask if, since it's technically a dexterity save, would my shield master affect this save?
Mhm.
Okay, so I get a +1 because the stone shields weren't like plus
Yeah.
anything extra; they were just big shields.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a saver.
Plus 2,
It's a saver fail situation, so there's no benefit from the halvesies part. But yeah,
yeah.
just a bonus to your.
Should
Yeah,
it
it'd
be
be
a
an extra
+2
+2.
because it's a shield?
Yeah,
You get
plus
plus
2.
to
I-
your shield.
God, I wish I had Brooklyn's shield right now.
Okay, so it's like a slab of like
Metal.
stone with spike or metal with spikes on it,
Yeah.
and then there's a rod behind
That's
it.
behind it. Yep, that
Single
flies
piston.
forward.
And a
How much?
piston on the back side.
How much wall is it before the rod starts?
Don't know.
Didn't we just watch it like go whoop and then pull back?
Yeah, but
How
I
nobody.
did
didn't have a
fast
chance
was
to
it?
look into.
Oh yeah. So again, you saw the rod fly across the doorway. You did not watch the rod come out of the wall because you'd had to have put your head in there, and the backswing would take your head with it. Because again, it's not
Is it?
it's not a slam and like a slow retract.
Oh,
it's
sorry. I thought it was
boom-bam!
going like this. I thought it was like going in. We saw it like whoosh by. Like I thought that's how
Yeah.
it was coming.
It does that,
But then it resets.
but then it does
It
this.
also whooshes
it's
back.
it's
the way-
literally it's like
Oh,
That.
it's instant. Oh, it's, like
it's
super quick.
it's smash and pull back. Yep. So
Oh,
Ezekiel literally just saw like the sheet fly by, the rod in front of him, and then everything kind of fly back very quickly.
darn. I was gonna say if it had like a longer reset, maybe we could like try to damage the rod or something.
No, yeah. If you want to damage the reset, it's literally jump in there and hope it doesn't. It will
Kill
really.
you?
It's gonna
So
kill you.
you guys have more time to react to that than we do. If you want to get one of those big shields ready, you could try to throw it behind it after it shoots out.
Do whatever you want, you guys.
We only have one of those with
But-
Ezekiel.
Uther and Silas on the opposite side, you would realize that there is another one of the spinny doors here.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that. Actually, I am because we might have to go back. Pop that open.
Do you pop it open, Silas?
Yes.
On the opposite side, you see a chamber similar to the room upstairs. The
Grab me,
marker
guys.
is centered in the between two staircases that head down, left and right. There are 2 torches behind it. It looks like there are 2 more spinny doors in this room if you kind of enter it and look around.
There's a whole ass scary room over here.
It's similar to the place you started in, is what I'm
I
saying.
let them know it looks, but it's not the place we started.
No,
right?
yeah. It
Okay.
had a couple of more
I can-
doors.
Okay, I just only tell that. I would let them know that there's another room like we started in. Someone might want to take a glance at the northern door as well, because there is a northern door as well.
Yeah,
While I'm
I'm gonna
building on my
scout ahead of
confidence,
you a
I'll
little
go do
bit. That's
that.
cool, Jody.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Swing by.
I am cautiously moving and clinging to walls and ceilings wherever I can.
Oh, sorry, we're going into the north. Are we going north?
The
I just told them they might want to look.
yeah, since we never know what's going to be up there, I'll check it out. This is also to build my confidence before I have to try to make a next save that I'm really bad
I'm
at.
gonna stand over
Uh-oh.
here.
When you
Oh,
open the door, you see kind of a pattern on the ground, and standing in the center of it, or rather forming in the center of it, is a woman in red garb with a mask over her face, blonde hair. She sees you, her eyes widen, and she immediately starts to run. If you'd like, you can roll initiative. She's got one more space. Or you can just not go that way.
Uh,
But a woman with blonde hair kind of appears or is already standing there. You're not sure. It's very sudden, and she runs off to the east.
Can we make
Boys,
out
are we trying
her
to
outfit
catch
at
her?
all?
No, it's so sudden because again the door is requiring force. So yeah,
I think Ezekiel's first response would be probably to try to catch her, because he'd be like, "She might know how to get out of here."
go ahead and
Those
roll
dogs
initiative.
like to chase them.
That's true too. The dog instinct
okay.
just kicks in. He can't control it.
No, man.
I think it rolled out loud. It's fine. I can't remember. Do I roll out loud for this game?
No,
Okay,
No.
it didn't roll out loud, by the way.
it did not.
No, I don't see it on
Nope.
I see
Oh,
it.
okay, cool.
Wait, where
Her
is it?
deck, her initiative. Oh,
You don't see the roll on the chart.
right.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I had the wrong tool selected.
No worries.
I have to change
do
my
that a lot.
initiative. It was bad.
But that one's so good.
It was so good, but my original was so bad.
Is there anything within 5 feet of me that I need to worry about? Because I said I was going to walk through this door as they were doing that one. Okay.
That room's completely clear. All right, roll.
Are these stairs?
That go down, yeah. There's
Okay.
and just like the ones upstairs, they seem to have kind of like a black sheet across them.
Okay.
At their base. All right. So then, Nix, you are first. Ezekiel moved through the door. Ezekiel, were you holding the door or no?
No, as soon as I saw her, I tried to catch her, so I would have let the door know to try to
Then
get to.
that means that as an action, you'll have to use your action to open the door, Dromite, to get through.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna hold my action and go after Rolling Rock.
Okay. So just so you're aware, I think we covered this at the beginning. Holding is not a thing we're doing anymore. I think, did we do that?
Hey, let's do this
No,
then.
we didn't say that.
No, we didn't do that in this game. Okay, never mind. Forget me. Holding's fine. Cool. Nix is done.
Okay.
Silas up. Different
Uh,
game. Different game.
I will move in as well, while just coming behind.
Yep.
And ready. Well, actually, I'm gonna start investigating because I'm technically not in combat yet,
Yeah, that's right.
so I'm still just.
Hey, you
looking.
guys are just
So I'm
Yeah,
investigating.
I'm not putting myself on the board at all.
you
So
guys are just hoping that we get across that scary spike thing.
there are two doors.
Yeah.
There's one to the south, one to the north. Whether or not those work or not is you're unsure. Silas, you're done. Ezekiel, you're up.
Man, those door lines are really hard to see.
Would I start here or here since I walked through the door?
I'll ping them from moving forward. So you would have started on the other side of the door. So yeah,
Okay,
there.
I was making sure. Ezekiel is going to move his 30 feet of movement.
Probably want to do a diagonal.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15. So I can see.
Okay. So as you're kind of moving through this space, you do see that there are strange kind of bits on the ground that appear to be crossbow bolts. And you kind of make that first step and you hear click from that first series, from that second series. What's your armor class, good
20.
sir? Okay, so you kind of see them and kind of, oh, okay, and kind of put your shield up, and you hear ka-thunk, ka-thunk as you're moving down the hallway, and crossbow bolts are flaring up from both sides at you.
Gotcha. I'm still gonna catch her. She's our only answer down here. Get up to her.
As she's ka-thunk, ka-thunk, 2 more shots.
Yep.
The third one will hit, the fourth one will miss. You'll take 2d8, so you'll take 9 points of damage.
Did she get shot?
No.
Yeah, we need her.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, that's a movement. You still have an
Okay.
action.
So I'm close enough to her to grab her.
You can attempt to, yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to try to grab her.
Okay.
It's athletics, right?
Yep.
If I saw a dog slam
28.
through a door and start chasing me, I'd run away too.
Okay. You grab a hold of her. And she's kind of like confused. Her hands kind of like flare upwards, and she's just very annoyed looking.
We just
And
want answers.
you'd also notice that as you're grabbing a hold of her, she doesn't like let out a vocal like enunciation, no kind of verbal like or none of that. And it doesn't even seem like once you've got her in your arms, like she doesn't feel like she's breathing at all either.
Gotcha.
That's good.
Ezekiel done.
Should've
Bodhi.
done fine in that.
I guess I'll hold this door since we're chasing the lady.
Andy, several people we know probably would have done fine in that chamber. The one person we know would have is Bodhi, and he was the one who was in there.
What are you talking about?
And Andy said she would have done fine in that, and I knew he was referring to the chamber. Anyway, sorry,
Yep.
continue.
It was an action to open the door, right?
Yeah, you want to move up or no?
No, I'm holding the door for them.
Okay.
These guys seem like they can handle a runaway.
She disappears from your grasp in a burst of petals, appearing on the other side. A bit of mist kind of trails between the 2 points. Bodhi, you recognize this move immediately. She appears. She doesn't seem to notice you. Her back's to you. Her cape flares open, and she kind of raises her hand and points it back down the hallway. You see that her finger, as she kind of drags it forward and throws it, she slits it cleanly open, like from base to tip. And as she does so, a bolt of bright red energy and blood flares back down the hallway towards
Another spell.
Ezekiel. It's a cantrip.
Gross.
It's a cantrip.
Mhm.
Not hygienic.
It's color spray.
26 to hit on...
Yeah.
Okay. You take... I rolled really good, so 19 psychic damage.
From a cantrip?
Yeah, 2d10.
Damn.
Firebolt. Firebolt does 2d10.
Yeah, we're just bad at them.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
All right.
I've never seen magic used
You've
well
been rolled
before.
with a crew that's not so great.
And yeah, she had disadvantage on that attack, but she still hit a 26, by the way. I rolled...
Wow.
That was a really great roll.
I'm holding the door open. Hey!
That's my friend.
Rolling Rock, you definitely kind of see and hear the exchange. The door is being held open. You can pass through it. You could also shoot through it, but even though you can do that, he is cover. So
No, I'm a bonk cleric.
I would have to be standing exactly where I am to hold the door, right?
yeah,
So
Okay.
I'm gonna
either
try to
space
bonk her,
adjacent to the
but
door.
I don't. I'm still gonna assume that she's like human or like mortal. So I'm gonna say I'm going for like less than lethal. I'm trying to like knock KO her, like knock her unconscious, because I think we got questions.
Okay.
Run through bonus action for Shalele,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll go for a bonk.
Okay.
Oh, it's only an 11 to hit.
She kind of has just thrown her cape back. As you kind of rush behind her, you see her kind of spin around and kind of pull the cape forward. And as you bring the stein down, you kind of catch a bit of the fabric, but realize she's not where she was a second ago. There's like this weird kind of displacement for the moment. Not anything magical, just her dodging your attack.
I guess I'll use my insight skill trick because I haven't got to do it yet. I guess I'll mark her.
Mhm.
I think it gives me advantage on opportunity attacks if she tries to move away from me.
Correct. Rolling rock. Anything else?
I
Move,
use my
bonus
bonus action,
action.
and I have action, so I think I'm good.
Nick's you're up.
We'll move here. I could see her through the door.
Yeah, but you have to shoot through Bodhi, so it'll be cover.
Even
But if
though
you're-
I'm small,
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
There's a whole ass satyr in the way.
Yeah, well, we're gonna
And
try.
half a door.
And half a door.
We're gonna
I'm
do it
soaking
anyway.
wet.
Thank you for helping me. I like with describing the mechanism.
17 to hit.
17. Okay, you fire your attack. It kind of like
It doesn't give him disadvantage, right? Like he
No.
doesn't have disadvantage. No, it's 29 then.
Oh, I thought he said
Cover
Cover.
just adds to
Yes,
her
cover.
AC.
It's harder to hit her.
29 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Okay.
Ding. And then steps back a few spaces.
Sure.
That's it.
Okay, I'll just keep holding the door.
Doing great,
Silas,
Bodhi.
you hear the sounds of combat. Well, no, you don't. The doors are closed.
No, I would call back and be like, "You guys doing okay? You guys coming?"
Doors are closed.
And I can I just holler back, just I'm flavor, man.
No
I'm just-
problems over here. How are you?
Yeah. Silas
We have a
done.
prisoner.
Ezekiel, you know that if you run back down the hallway, it's probably going to be Crossbolt City.
Hang on 1 second here. I'm gonna check something before my brain stops working.
I'm gonna pop this door open because I'm bored waiting for my friends.
It does not push.
I pull.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work.
Huh, that's interesting.
It's the first door that you've gotten that's not working the way you expect it to.
You
I'll invite
twist.
Silas over and we'll just stare at this door until this is done.
Okay, I would
Over
like.
and look.
What if we both push on a side? Taco.
I would like to try to use the forced surrender from the intimidate skill trick.
Yep.
What a culture.
Yeah, get her.
Yeah.
So,
So I make an intimidate check by an opposed creature's wisdom check.
yeah. Wisdom saving.
Probably
throw.
gonna do really bad.
And
Oh, I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Hell yeah, she's scared.
hold on.
It's attack dog.
Can I use inspiration on skill tricks?
If a creature has more than half of its maximum hit points remaining and is not outnumbered, so both of those are not qualified, so it cannot be forced to surrender. You fail automatically. Okay, next up is
I still have a bonus action.
okay, go ahead. Huh?
My bonus action is gonna be second wind.
What was that, Chody?
He is outnumbered.
Both of those need to be satisfied.
She's not a half
both.
hit point yet.
That's my turn.
Yeah, because that would be the dumbest shit ever. It's like we walk into the big boss fight. I make an intimidation check. John rolls a 1. Get fucked, bitch! You gotta
Hey,
stop
but now,
fighting them.
but
kinda
now we know
familiar.
it can work on a boss fight.
Yeah,
And you would know how I felt whenever you guys played on my game.
fair. Well, no, I'll never feel that stupid.
I appreciate you.
That was just plain mean.
I'm so.
I can't wait to make you feel so fucking.
No, it's fine. I told him I was going to run a game, so I'll remember.
Oh yeah, I'm getting.
Yeah, you
John
know
this
those
time.
winged boots you want?
You don't get them. Ezekiel, you're done. Bodhi, you're up. Still holding the door at your action, or do you want to let it go and get in there?
I don't want her to get away. Everyone's putting a lot of effort into her.
Don't worry, she takes one step, she's getting the bonk.
Right.
I hope.
Because if you don't catch her and Nix doesn't catch her, I'm letting her leave.
You're like, okay, cool, peace.
I'll hold the door and I'll yell at her. It's like, please stop. We're scared too.
She doesn't look scared. She
Oh,
just
she's
looks.
running.
She looks annoyed.
She ran away. That counts as scared.
She was startled.
Yeah.
Well and fair. All right, Bodhi, action, holding door. Got it. It'll go to her. She will.
Not stab Bodhi. Please, I need this.
Start saying some crazy magic terms.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
In common?
In Draconic.
Oh. Darn, don't know that one.
And she appears behind Ezekiel.
I
They're
speak
both
Draconic. What's she
looking
doing?
in at each other at Ezekiel, and they both kind of raise their hands, and you can see like
Can I
blood.
counterspell that?
Well, sorry, she cast a spell when she was doing the make her appear. Do you want to counterspell that?
Yeah.
Okay. Bear with me here.
Pick a
What level?
number.
What level spell are you using?
3rd.
Automatic. You counter the spell. You realize she's casting one, and you throw it forward. She does not appear behind Ezekiel.
What was she doing? I speak Draconic. Do I recognize what that spell was?
You'd have to take your turn to do a spellcraft check or to make an Arcana check.
Spellcasting sucks.
It's hard.
That's a whole turn.
You know that she was wiggling fingers, so you definitely threw in the disruptive note to block it.
I heard her speak in Draconic.
Yeah, you were like, no spellcraft, and you
Yeah.
got her. But
Usually when you speak Draconic.
she immediately turns all of her attention right to this fucking guy holding the door.
And please stop.
Miss Mams, please, Miss Mams. Rolling Rock, you are up.
All right. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you know what? I'll start. Use my action. We'll try to hit her in the head again.
Okay.
How about an 18?
18 will hit, except that she's going to use her reaction to cast shield. Blocks it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Gets rid of one of her first level spell slots.
It's true. It's true. In that case, I guess bonus action. Sorry, just double check. Spiritual weapon bonus action.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do a spiritual weapon right on the other side of her.
Okay. I don't remember if I gave you... Nope, never did. I'm the worst DM. You can count on that. Marketplace purchase, faster caster, weapon. Go ahead and make the attack with it and everything. I'll just get the token out here.
It critically struck
Cool.
for 8+6 force damage.
You put it behind her, you said?
Yes, she's surrounded by dwarven hammer-looking things.
Well, for the current purposes, it's a sword, but yeah.
Okay, dwarf sword.
No, it's gonna be a hammer, like visually. I'm just saying the token is lame.
Yeah.
All right, Rolling Rock done. Nyx, you are up.
Yep, we're gonna do the same thing and move up and shoot through this space.
Mhm.
And hopefully we will do a thing. 29 to hit.
Yeah.
Same damage, 10.
All right.
We're gonna move back and say, just stop.
She's like, any reaction from her? She's being like struck, or she just take
She
it on the
used,
chin?
well, she used the reaction already this turn, so it's done.
Well, no.
No, he's asking, is she reacting to
Oh,
the
oh,
damage?
Like,
yeah, like if I got hit in the head with a sharp note, I'd probably be like, "Oh, gee, like my head, it hurts."
There's the reaction, the thing in the rule book.
Yeah.
Reaction.
A human
Ow, oh my
emotion,
god,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
hitting
yeah.
what's your passive perception, Steve?
pretty good. Passive says 20.
Yeah.
It's because
So
I have the skill
Damn.
thing for it.
you would notice this as you're fighting her and as everybody's kind of been hitting her, there's something weirdly weird about her. Like there's an uncanny valleyness to her eyes. And as you're kind of seeing her moving her fingers up to start casting spells, you realize that there are small little ball joints where like actual joints should be.
Oh.
All right, as a free action, I'll just be like, some sort of puppet.
Construct, yeah.
I don't know if we can reason with it, lads. Let's
Murder it.
take.
Actually.
Yeah, take it. We'll take it apart, and put it back together.
Silas. Oh, this is fun. Ezekiel.
Doors.
I have to go through here and get struck by arrows. Can I occupy the same space as a spiritual weapon, or?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure. And I'll run through here and hopefully not get hit by arrows.
1, 2,
But
3, 4 more times. Oh, yeah. This is not a good as run for you this time. It looks like I'm hitting you 3 times. So it'll be 7 for the first series. It'll be 9 for the second and 10 for the third. So a total of 26.
Ezekiel is very, very hurt.
Yeah, this time you're kind of like intent on kind of rushing forward. You realize now that the darts are hitting from both sides. It's 2 darts firing each time, which is why it's a D8, 2D8. But yeah, you kind of whoosh, get over to her, and then what?
Swing. 17 hit.
Not at current, no. She's still under the effects of shield.
22.
That will work.
13 slashing, and then 5 from Melissa Fitzer.
All right. And she's already used her reaction this turn, so she can't use her reaction again. Anything else from you?
No, I already used my bonus action.
All right. Bodhi, you are up. You're still holding the door. It definitely does look like she is focused on you, even despite everybody else.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, we might have to take it on the chin on this one. I'm gonna dump a. Nobody else is hurt, huh?
Oh, Ezekiel's beat the shit out of.
I know. That's nobody else has
Just
taken
Ezekiel,
any damage.
yeah. Oh, Silas.
I usually. Yeah, he's
over
off
there. Hanging
having
out with
coffee
you
or
there.
something.
They're probably...
just arm wrestling, doing Sudokus.
texting each other.
You know what? I am just going to cast Mage Armor on myself
Okay.
and hope for the best. Do I have to let go of the door?
You would have to, yeah.
So be it.
So yeah, that would mean Nix, you are on the opposite side of the door. You won't be able to pop forward and cast it.
Yep.
Okay. It'll go to the excellent, and she will kind of throw her hands off to the side, kind of annoyed, and then spiral them up over her head like someone throwing a cloak over their head. And as she does so, you watch as blood kind of sprays around her and kind of slams into each of you with like a biting edge. She's going to make a single attack. And if an 18 hits your armor class,
It does.
you take 18 points of damage.
That doesn't proc Sentinel to attack her, does it?
It's to targeting everyone, so no. Yeah, no
I was
sense.
making sure.
Oh wait, shield.
18.
Yeah.
Block!
Fuck you! Stop it! I'm gonna open this door again.
More than
I'm
fair.
running out of spells.
Hey, you're not going nowhere.
Rolling Rock, you're up.
I really am.
Light her ass up with the wild magic.
You've got burns growing out of you.
I'll just turn into a flower and sit there even more worthlessly.
So her gaze is still pretty firm on Bodhi, even though she's throwing blood at us.
Yeah, she twirled blood around herself. It kind of slammed into everybody, but she does still seem to be kind of focused on Bodhi.
It did miss everyone, yeah.
It hit Rolling Rock.
Oh, it
Yeah.
did?
Right? 18 hits Rolling Rock?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
she made me bleed with her own blood. Well, now I know she's just a puppet. I can bonk with no remorse. How about an 18?
18 will hit her. Do you want to... Anybody want to spend inspiration for the crit?
Oh,
I'll give it to him.
I have my own. I can.
Oh,
If
if
you
you have
want.
your own, and you choose not to use it.
Yeah, you know what? Just big smash.
Okay. So
yeah.
she was going to go ahead and use her reaction. And she's still targeting Bodhi, so Bodhi, you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
I can do that. Yeah.
Wow.
And she beat a 0.
You watch as she gets struck by the stein. Her eyes kind of flare purple, and she kind of focuses on Bodhi. And for that very second, Bodhi, you feel like you and her kind of link spiritually, and you're like,
Neat.
"Oh, I've done this before." When people were playing games with me, and you actually realize she's linking and reflecting her agony into you. You take 17 points of psychic damage as she takes her damage.
Wow.
Hurts a lot. Is that
That
is
does
that
not count as an
continuous?
attack, right?
It is not an attack.
I got some bad news for you. I didn't click the enchant totem damage yet.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and throw that.
All right, here I go.
7 more.
Perfect. I'm down. Perfect. All the money. You nailed it.
So
You
she.
fucking nailed it. 34 hit points. 24 hit points.
So you actually have the exact same experience. Crack to the face and fall to the ground. She doesn't appear to be getting like any kind of air or anything, whereas Bodhi is kind of like probably smiling.
Don't worry. I can use the stabilize thing as a bonus action because I'm proficient in medicine.
What I was thinking is this buddy's like, sleeping actually helps dull the pain. If you can sleep through the pain, it's better that way.
No, he's smiling from the experience. He just really loves it when they hit it perfect.
Right,
He doesn't like it when they overdo it, but when they hit that sweet spot to just kill
get
him.
him. Just get
I'll be
him.
old-fashioned, but I hate wasted potential.
But yeah, no,
I want something clean, calculated. I want someone who knows how to kill me.
you strike her across the face with the
Not
stein.
this sloppy bullshit.
She hits the stone. Bodhi at the same time hits the stone. Aftermath. Death saving throw. You said you're stabilizing as a bonus action, so there's no need for us to discuss
Could I take an action? Can I do a thing?
We're not in a combat anymore.
Oh, okay.
There's a corpse blocking the door.
If you do slide the door open, you see Bodhi kind of
Body. There's a body blocking the door.
It's like,
And yes, I am very easy to drag along the bottom.
Glue or something when the door switches and they trade places. Just trying to heal him.
My coat.
Where is he? Is he in danger?
I would heal him for 14.
Well, you got to get to the right. Okay, fine. I'm just.
I open the door.
Yeah, no, he gets slid by the door onto the other side. Is what we're saying.
Oh.
Do I take hit point damage?
This has been way more comical than I was expecting. First, the dog leash.
I get put back into critical condition.
Yeah, you get the healing. You would see that along the door or along the hallway, there are a number of different crossbow bolts, some that have been blocked off or kind of hit, and there are 2 markers. They're about the same height, but just offset. So when the crossbows fire, the bolts fire rather, they fire over top one another. The thing that Rolling Rock would note about the crossbow bolts is each bolt, some are broken and kind of distorted or bent from hitting the stone. But other than that, they're all exactly identical. Perfectly identical, which means that they're being generated magically. They are not bolts that exist before they're made to be fired.
Okay, so...
This hallway has infinite potential for shooting crossbow bolts.
No reload necessary.
Healing potion 2d4 plus 2. Remind me. Is that correct?
2d4 plus 2 for a healing potion, yes, sir.
7. I just handed several to Ezekiel. If he wants to roll those himself. And I'll give one to Rolling Rock as well.
Thank you. I'll save this for later. I'm curious about the anatomy of our puppet friend here.
Well, you'd see quite a bit more of it because when you struck her across the face, you would notice that it actually broke a good portion of her jaw off. Looking at her, she does appear to be a piece of artifice, but it looks like the soft stone or material that was kind of used to create her frame was coated over with a skin-like substance. And then you would see that inside she seems to be leaking blood, actual blood. Normally constructs are filled with vitae, not blood. This is very strange.
So different than like an Undaunted.
Yes.
Interesting. This is peculiar, fellas. The robot has real blood.
Looking over her kind of garb, it's quite ornate. She does look like she's, some sort of like mage or aristocracy. And she had like a mask, which for the best kind of purposes you can kind of like visualize. It's literally just like a mask, like, we would wear it today, except made out of cloth. Like a go outside mask. COVID mask.
Any other like markings or symbolism on her garb, or is it pretty mundane?
Mundane. It's really nice, and it's like a soft kind of like velvet red. But other than that,
that sounds nice.
How high up are the crossbow holes?
Great question.
Like chest high, or
about 4 feet.
Could we potentially crawl under?
Yep.
That works for me too.
I have no issue with that.
You'd probably just have to squat. I mean,
Yep.
I mean, and last thing, my own morbid curiosity. I kind of want to like open up her chest to see if she has any sort of like heart like cavity or just what is pumping this blood through. Like, is it machinery? Is it like an act like a beating heart? Like, now
Do you want a curtain? Do you want some privacy?
do you take the time?
Sure.
Go ahead and make a medicine.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna crawl towards the end of the hallway, see if there's an exit out of here.
Flub that one. Only 9.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that's kind of vaguely familiar, like in innards. But you also notice that where bone should be, instead there's like metal struts. Looks like whatever this is, it was created artificially, and you can't really find a heart
Okay.
because you don't know where to look.
Yeah.
Most people
Darn.
just throw their hand in the chest and do the Kano pump, but it's not. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I feel like it's that scene from Men in Black where they're like touching like Will Smith's in the body and they're like, heart, lungs, liver. He's like, yep, it's all good. But what do you mean they're not there?
But if you make your way across, it's another spinning door, and you would spin it and open it.
Oh, this is a spinning door?
Yep.
Did the crossbows fire over us as we crawled over?
They did, and you'd actually notice that they fired at angles, like they were trying to fire down at you. You're pretty sure if the Dromite was to walk across just normally, even though he's less than 4 feet tall, they would aim down and fire at his head. But like crawling on the ground, like only about a foot or so off the ground, like shuffling, you're fine.
Okay, I'll stand and hold the door.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey guys.
Long time no see. Yeah, and if you hold
You guys look like shit.
Man.
What happened?
There was
You guys
a
found an
construct
easier-
up there that was really good at magic.
if you hold the door, it does have the weight still trying to close it. Let me know when you do shut the door.
Because it won't reopen.
Sure wish everyone would come in.
The door
This door won't open.
and
Oh,
Silas, the door that you're at does open, so you can still get out that way.
well,
Yeah, that's
I'll
the
hold
only
this one until told otherwise. But there's some cool stairs leading down further.
Who wants to go deeper?
I mean, we can't go up, so, right?
Oh yeah, we are trapped no matter what.
Yeah. I'd say we just let those doors shut. Maybe it'll let the door that Uther's there holding.
My hands are getting tired.
You got this, Bodie. Just let
Oh, yeah, I'll let go.
All right. Shuts, and yeah, if you try and kind of push it on this side, it won't open. It seems that the rotation can only be forced from one side.
This one's still stuck.
Yeah. And pulling on it, there's nothing to kind of grab a hold of. There's no real...
Did you guys try pushing at the same time like it's a taco door?
Yeah, we did. It
It
didn't
didn't
work.
work. We're the strongest.
Fuck, they thought of everything.
It'll work. Well, Silas is. But yeah, left or
Did we
right?
miss a door somewhere?
Nope.
Must have been the left path.
Are you wondering
Right
how you
path.
get to the other side of this door?
Uh huh.
Right path.
Right path.
Oh, okay.
All right, left or right? We went left last time, so y'all want to go right this time, or you want to go left again?
I mean, left it is pretty well. I feel great.
I do like left.
Yeah, I like the consistency of always going left.
All right, left it is. I'll go first.
Okay.
Second.
Similar to last time, as you pass through the shadow, you definitely see that you are kind of entering into a new space, and the floor behind you, or the ceiling above you, starts to take shape. Inside of this chamber, as you first step in, the staircase is not framed in a hallway, it's just kind of open air, kind of like floating, no railing or anything. To the left is kind of like just empty space. To the right, there's a dead body. It looks like it's just a skeleton. And then
Nothing on it, like no clothes or weapons or anything.
nothing you can see from this distance. It does look like
Gotcha.
there might be some gear there, but you're not sure what it is for certain. And then there's a doorway that exits into another chamber. You can see from the torch sconces the reflection of a pillar that seems to be kind of crystal in shape. And as you kind of step in, I'll go ahead and just start moving everybody else into this space. Bodhi probably wouldn't have been next on the docket, but
I think I was after Uther, who was after.
2 Ezekiels. That's what we always want.
That's win.
Got a new rune that lets him double himself.
I'm so ready for my next level up. The next rune I'm picking is perfect.
And Ether, I think, is the last. Is everybody right?
Yeah, Riziko's gonna check out that body.
Okay. Yeah, skeleton, human. Looks like the clothing that was on him is kind of rotted away. You can see the remnants of it. There's a bag next to him. Looks like it has kind of ornate colors to it, but it's made out of leather, so it looks like it's kind of survived a bit longer. It looks very dry and brittle, though. And then in his hand, he is holding what appears to be a glass shard. Just like a piece of glass.
Okay. Can I open the bag, or does it look locked of some sort? Or...
Yeah, if you open the bag, looks like it is kind of filled with a void of darkness.
Okay. I'm gonna assume it's a bag of holding. Can I flip it inside out?
Yeah.
Does everybody want me to flip it inside out? Riziko will ask.
I don't care, man. It's your bag.
I'll
You
flip it
found
inside out.
Okay. The bag is now flipped up inside out. I believe that
Trust
just
you.
ends the
I
thought
think
bag.
it
it-
just
it-
no, it just dumped
dumps
everything out.
everything out.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'll flip it back to normal. Does it still look usable? Like, can I still use this bag pretty well?
I mean, there's still like a extra dimensional space in its interior.
Gotcha. I didn't know if like it being outside, like me grabbing it and stuff would break it a bunch with it being brittle.
It's just like it's cracking, like old leather
Just
kind of.
oil it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We'll get it cleaned up. We'll find a nice.
Yeah, I'll take it. And then the
Sapphire
glass
or
shard just
something.
looks like a regular piece of glass. Like it doesn't match the crystal that we've seen in the pillars.
The crystal's identical to the pillars. It's a similar styling. Yeah, there's 4 of
The
them.
glass in his hand.
Yeah,
Oh,
the glass in his hand.
sorry. No, it is just glass.
Okay,
Not like
gotcha.
a blood stain on it or anything.
It looks like it's kind of cut into the bone of the hand, but it definitely looks like it was being brandished.
Yeah, he didn't find a way out.
Mm-mm. While I have
Twitter.
the bag of holding now, Ezekiel's going to, just to make sure it works right, he's gonna drop what is he going to drop it? He's gonna
Something
drop his
not
tinderbox
pointy.
into it, and then reach his hand in and try to get the tinderbox back out to make sure it works normal.
Hold on, bear with me checking something. Sorry, prep for next stuff. What were you doing?
I was reaching. I
Making
dropped
sure
my
it's a
tinderbox
working bag of
in.
holding.
Yeah, pretty much. I drop my tinderbox in, pull it out, and make sure it works right.
Okay. Yeah, works.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna start putting items in there.
Okay.
So it's a piece of glass.
Let me know all the items that you're putting in the bag.
I'm going to put that what was it? That piece of stone I had that we never figured out what it was.
That wasn't ominous.
It was the one that we got from the gnome's place. It was like a mysterious stone, metal. It was a mysterious piece of metal. I could never identify what it was.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, mysterious metal. That's all I was told about it.
Hold on, I'm checking something real quick. Okay, so you're putting another item in, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I put the mysterious metal
He
in.
tested it with
Got
the
it. Yep, and I rolled.
tinderbox first.
I rolled for it, and I'm rolling again. This time it's not so lucky on the presence here. So what I need you to do is just go ahead and write that item off, and go ahead and make a strength athletics check. As something grabs a hold of your hand and seems to be
27.
trying to pull it in. You yield your hand out. You manage to pull it out just fine. You realize that there's something inside of the bag that seems to be trying to grab and bite a hold of you.
It's probably like a bag of devouring, maybe. Out of character, because Ezekiel wouldn't know what that is in character.
It's a mimic.
Do I have a trainable mimic net? I won't put anything else in it, then Ezekiel will just keep it on him. Or let's check this area out, and then if we're like safe enough for a couple minutes, I'm gonna have the Nyx identify it.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Are you safe? It tried to get you.
It did try to get me.
You want to tie it closed or something?
Yeah. I'm gonna close it and just try to hold the lid tight, or the top of the bag tight. Maybe that's what he was trying to fight. Was the thing in the bag?
Yeah, if you're just closing the bag and kind of setting it off to the side, I'm going to do some more entertaining on that. For now, just let's not mess with the bag, because there's a couple of wordings on it that are kind of strange.
Gotcha.
What's going on with this circle
Okay,
over
I'll
here?
set it down then and just be like, guys, let's remember to come back to this.
So, bring it with you.
Yeah, the
Ever heard of art before?
symbol in the center,
Oh, yeah.
the strange circle that you're talking about, appears to be a sun symbol, not too dissimilar from Octavian sun signs. And there are 4 pillars in this room. Each one is made out of crystal. These ones do not have strange materia inside of them. There does look like there's another door, though, to the northwest. It's, again, really hard to see, but yeah, it's right there.
Pop that bad boy open.
All right.
I'll cast guidance at the circle because that worked for no reason.
As you do so, you notice that there are
Roots.
a very massive amount of roots and vines that are kind of growing throughout this space. Looks like all throughout. On the walls, the ceilings.
And the crystals go from the floor to the ceiling, right?
The crystals do go from the floor to the ceiling.
I'm gonna step around them, but pop through the door.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception roll. I'm assuming you're kind of scanning as you're moving.
Oh, you didn't have time to
24.
attend your... Wow.
24, you said?
Yeah.
You would notice subtle movements in the vines. Creeping tendrils of vines from the ceiling kind of descending down towards you. It seems that this entire mass that you're kind of stepping into is like one cluster of vines. You would see that to the south of you, there's another large cluster of vines, and it looks like the door that is on the south side, you can see through it, correct?
Yes.
It's held open by the vines.
So powerful.
And what would you like to do in response to realizing that it seems that the vines are trying to move against you?
Pop back through the door.
Okay. Door shuts.
Creeping vines.
But before we go to the creeping vines, do we want to see what the bag was? Because Ezekiel's really interested in the bag.
Okay, so I just want to make sure,
John's already for the bag.
I'm basically ready for the bag. What I'm trying to tell you is there's no benefit of the bag other than if you put material that is vegetable or animal in it, there's a 50% chance that it just gets taken. Like,
If
and
you put a piece of metal in there.
the metal ore got taken.
Oh, sorry, I meant the tinder. My brain space is dumb. The tinder box is made out of wood, right? No, it wouldn't be. That would be stupid.
No, it's a little metal. It's
Yeah.
like a tin box.
Neither of the
That would be
items
pretty
have.
funny.
Neither of the
Wooden
other.
tinderbox.
Neither of the items have been devoured.
Single use.
It is
I mean-
in fact a bag
I mean,
of
yeah,
devouring.
if you're gonna disposable,
Let's just walk through it together since
it's
we've
a
already,
bad bag. Leave
it's
it.
a bag of devouring.
Now you're good. Once per day, choose the time. It swallows everything that's in it, and it's gone anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was going to have
It's animal
identify
mineral.
it to see.
Or animal or vegetable. You want to throw it in that room next door and see what
Anytime. Ooh.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, weed whacker.
You gotta get one of those vines to go in there.
Anyone's starting to get curious
How could those be?
about what happens if these pillars shatter? This is the second time I came across them.
Yeah.
And they are very brittle. Like, I feel like you purposely make something like they're purpose because they're made from magic, and if you make them brittle on purpose, it's almost like you want them to break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you trigger a trap. You give it a hair trigger.
Yeah, but this is like so obvious. Like, would you make it that obvious? Isn't that usually like a hair trigger, like so thin that you can't see it? So that's why you trigger it.
Oh, there's some just bunch of dummies walk in, tripping around, go face first through one.
That one checks out.
You don't have a tail. You have nothing to worry about. You're so aware of your
Very true.
surroundings.
I do like the idea of sending this bag of devouring against these roots, though. Just let that clear the problem for us.
the explosion
just
of whatever it is.
Thread one of the roots into the bag and let it just spaghetti the whole thing away.
The trap narrowly misses you because you don't have a tail.
Yeah.
That's what it'll always be for the traps. But no, yeah, if you want to break the pillars, go nuts. If you want to go through the room with vines, go nuts. Option-wise, you really don't have much besides those two.
Bag of devouring the vines or set fire to the vines.
Back up there.
I'd be interested in seeing it happen.
Yeah, I'm curious if it like.
We're doing science down here.
Hand me the bag. Somebody hold the door.
I've got the door.
All right. I'll hand the bag.
Hold the door. Watch it. Make sure Mom doesn't show up to get mad at us.
Okay, yeah, I already plugged it, but that's fine. We're continuing.
Spaghetti?
No, it's funnier than that. The dog should be inside the bag.
Oh, because you rolled it backward.
No, it's when part of a living creature is placed inside the bag, as happens when someone reaches inside of it. There's a 50% chance that the creature is pulled inside the bag. Creature is pulled inside the bag.
Oh, yeah, period. And then he has to try to get back out.
Not he gets to resist it, just period. Slump.
What's it to get out of the bag? Maybe his
15.
athletics got him immediately.
He would have gotten out, but it wouldn't have been just my hand almost got pulled in. It would have been that scene from Army of Darkness where he goes inside of the book
That's a good
and like
scene.
pulls himself out of the bag with like his like dog face. Like he'd be like, "Why you do this?"
You should have remembered the word.
And that is exactly what happened and why we know that this thing is what it is.
That
And he's
TikTok of
perfectly
greyhounds,
fine, and
you
now
know.
we know to feed that plant to him. This thing
Yep,
is now our
perfect.
mascot.
Let
we
me
feed
do it
monsters to
for you. Let me do it for. Yeah. Anyways, I'm having a great time over here.
Hold my
referencing-
feet.
Brent, you finally got your pet. It's a bag.
It's a bag. Yep.
It's monsters.
So I'm going to slip this bag over.
What are you
some
going to
roots.
name it, Brent?
That's Benjamin, the bag.
Wow. No, our name.
No, he's a bag. You gotta
He's
got
one of the
alliteration.
Sackville Baggins.
Love it.
That wasn't too bad.
Okay, so what's the
That was
plan?
not bad.
Oh
We're going
wait,
to slip the
Better-
bag over the roots.
better plan. Okay, so that's fine. The vine is vegetable material. Okay, so that's where we'll start off next session. With trying to shove vines in bags. We'll discuss some things off camera, but next Sunday I will not be able to run. We will discuss why that's the case off camera. Thanks for watching those that did, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.